with the war.
What's that?
Middle East crisis, Biden suggests Netanyahu is prolonging war to stay in power. So obviously Biden's trying to, you hear his words say that it's on Hamas to accept the deal, but really what he really means is it's on Israel now. We are trying to put some pressure on Israel. Biden says there's every reason to believe Netanyahu is prolonging the war for political reasons. I thought when he walked away from his speech today, he said, oh no, I think he's trying to solve a difficult problem, I think is what he said.
Netanyahu playing politics with the war.
What's that?
I asked her, is Prime Minister Netanyahu playing politics with the war?
I don't think so. He's trying to work out a serious problem he has.
President Biden asked whether Satan was prolonging the war in Gaza in an effort to hold on to office, said that he believed there's every reason for people to draw that conclusion, lending his voice to something many in his administration have been saying privately for months. His statement came in an interview with Time magazine, so this is a different interview, obviously, than the speech that he gave just earlier today, which was on the border, which I love that he's closed the border, apparently. One of the most restrictive policies on immigration coming from Joe Biden in the history of the U.S. presidency. Of course, what do vote blue no matter who liberals tell us that if Trump comes back, he's gonna close the borders. His statement came in an interview with Time magazine published Tuesday that was conducted May 28th, 3 days before Mr. Biden gave a speech revealing the details of what he called an Israeli plan to bring about an exchange of hostages and a permanent ceasefire. His decision to describe the Israeli plan in public appeared to be a clear effort to lock in Mr. Netanyahu, who did not publicly reveal the details and seemed to back away from some of them after Mr. Biden's statement last Friday. Both in Jerusalem and Washington, Mr. Netanyahu is widely seen as highly aware that an end to the conflict could easily result in his being swept from office, especially once investigations began into how Israel ignored evidence of the October 7th terror attack that killed nearly 1,200 Israelis. Of course, we knew that within a month, I think, that got leaked, that senior military intelligence knew of these plans, were notified of these plans, but they didn't take them very seriously. I wonder if we clicked on this link, if it would show us back to, November 30th. See, I told you. Israel knew Hamas's attack plan more than a year ago, and this was published originally on November 30th, so I guess within 2 months of the attack. So we went through that already. We don't have to go back through that. Both in Jerusalem and Washington, Satan is widely seen as highly aware, especially once investigations, blah, 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 and how slowly Israel's diaper forces responded. Street protests against him have begun to gather momentum again 8 months after the attack. In addition, Satan's governing coalition depends on two leaders of far-right parties. Ben-Gvir, who is literally a convicted terrorist, okay? Let's not forget, Itamar Ben-Gvir is a convicted terrorist. And Bezalel Smotrich, who is a self-proclaimed fascist homophobe. And I love when little baby brains want to talk about radical extremist Islamist groups, fascist terror groups, and they're talking about Hamas and not the Israeli government and its officials, who are literally convicted of terrorism and who are self-proclaimed fascists, who have signaled that they will pull out of the government if the prime minister agrees to a peace deal that does not drive Hamas completely from power. On Tuesday, Mr. Biden acknowledged the political difficulties Satan faces. Asked by a reporter in Washington if Satan was playing politics with the war, Mr. Biden said, "I don't think so. He's trying to work out a serious problem he has." That was earlier today. He said that. As he's walking away, he still does the Britney Spears look back and grins, this shit-eating, fucking dementia-having ass. Mr. Biden declined in the interview with Time to say whether Israel remained the main obstacle to a deal with Saudi Arabia. Because remember, Israel, the main purpose of this is to normalize relations with Saudi Arabia. The Palestine-Israel conflict must end with a normalization of the two states. Of course, I mean Israel and Saudi Arabia. What? The people of Palestine? Oh. No, there's scant a word for them. It's all about the deal with Saudi Arabia. Remember, Saudi Arabia is trying to position itself as the economic hub in the neoliberal darling of the Middle East, right? So it's very important that Israel normalize its relations with Saudi Arabia, in which the country would give diplomatic recognition to Israel for the first time in return for help building a nuclear industry. That's what it's about, folks. We got to build that nuclear industry. And Israel's agreement to help create a separate Palestinian state. Yes, it's Israel's agreement to help create the genocidal, psychopathic ethno-state of Israel has to help create the Palestinian state, the one that they've been ethnically cleansing. They're tasked with that. I'm sure they're going to do a great job. Mr. Satan has made clear, both before and after the attacks, that he will not agree to a two-state solution with the Palestinians. Of course, the two-state solution is just a euphemism for slow ethnic cleansing. The two-state solution is a euphemism for the slow Holocaust.
Nixon ordered Cambodian genocide. Clinton sent cruise missiles to Sudan, people died. You gave the orders to do drone strikes. Reagan invaded Nicaragua in '85.